What's the most extraordinary story you've heard that someone's told you about Grindr? Have you been invited to a Grindr wedding?
Yeah, there's been some Grindr weddings. There's been Grindr. People found jobs. People have found. I mean, even from my own experience, I run into people when I used to live in New York. When I go back to New York, I run into guys I knew, friends, guys I dated, and so there's a lot of that. I'm still struck by, I mean, for me, the story that whenever I think about the most interesting story for me was an airman in the U.S. Air Force who, this was during the time of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and he was stationed in Kuwait and he was stationed in Iraq, in Baghdad, and he was part of the service crew for the Air Force. And he said he used Grindr to meet other gay airmen, people in the Air Force and on the base. He actually met some locals in Baghdad, some Iraqi men using Grindr. And then he also said it was a great way for him to keep in touch with his friends back in the States. Since we don't charge for messaging, it was a great way to communicate back and forth with his friends back in the States. And also, it allowed him just to stay connected with the gay community. I can imagine as a person in the armed forces, it's not very, even if you're gay, or if you are gay, you probably feel very disconnected from the overall gay community. So it was great to know that Grindr helped him, meet other gay men, but also just to feel connected to the community.
Yeah, certainly. I can't imagine it would be isolating being over in a different country fighting in a war, and then let alone being, probably feeling incredibly isolated with Don't Ask, Don't Tell still in effect. And recently Grindr's come under a bit of rather catty criticism that it's killing some delicate social ecology of Fire Island. And what do you have to say to that in response? Are these people that have just been spurned by people on Grindr? Nobody's responding to their photo.
Listen. I think one thing that happens with technology is it changes society. It changes the way we interact, and I'm quite comfortable with that for the most part. I mean, So one of the things I think we all see this, and you mentioned this about Grindr in the bar or Grindr at gay prides. I mean, people are tweeting and are Facebook and they're doing all these other networks and SMSing, and we have an obsession with our smartphones, right? And this is not just a Grindr thing. This is an obsession with being connected, whether it's with your friends or your family or just news alerts, or it's this constant need to feel connected. And I think Grindr's part of that overall trend. And I think, so that's one overall trend that overall I think is good. But I do think society does need to figure out a little bit of kind of a framework for when is it acceptable to text? When is it acceptable to check their Facebook? I think we've overdone it a little bit. And I would put Grindr in all those, when is it acceptable, and when we're overdoing it a bit.
Talk to me a bit about Grindr for Equality. When did you first realize you had this kind of massive user base that you could mobilize to achieve some sort of good?
I guess, since the early days, we dabbled in a few different, Prop 8 here in California. We did some messaging there. And so there were different things that went on throughout the years that we've been involved with. I think when it really crystallized for us was when gay marriage was up for vote in the New York State Senate end of last year. And we saw that there were 5 senators who were on the fence, and they were undecided. And what we decided to do was to actually specifically target their districts, and to their constituents. We sent messages and saying, "Hey, your senator," we listed their name, is on the fence, and if you call them, please tell them to vote yes on this bill. And what we did is we linked to their phone number. So not only did we list the phone number, we just said, hey, press the more button and we'll connect you so that you can speak to their switchboard. And our sense is we made a difference. I mean, I don't know that we made the difference, but we made a difference. And the feedback we got was, hey, I didn't know it was my senator. I didn't know their name. I didn't know how to contact them. And you guys made it so easy for us. And so with that, we took that, and then in January of this year, we launched Grindr for Equality. And basically what Grindr for Equality is to leverage our engaged users, our users around the world, 192 countries and over 4 million of them, and giving them the information that they need to know about things that are happening to them on a local level, sometimes on a state level or a national level, sometimes even on an international level, things that really are affecting the gay community, and then giving them a very easy call to action, something that they can do to either sign a petition, make a phone call, go to a rally, something that's quite easy to do, and so that's what Grindr for Equality is about.
To wrap things up here, you're in the business of social media, social networking. I have a marry, fuck, kill scenario for you. Your options are Tom from MySpace, Mark Zuckerberg, and then the bird from Twitter.
What are my options to do with them?
Marry, fuck, kill.
I have to kill one, I have to marry one.
And then fuck the other.
And so I don't know what Tom from MySpace looks like.
He's not bad. He's got some strong eyebrows.
Can we add you to the mix?
Sure, go for it. I'm game now. I'm very domestic. I'll throw that out there too.
You're domestic. So okay, so marry, fuck, kill. So now, can I marry and fuck one person, or does marriage include? How does that all work?
You know what? We'll say that marriage is. It's not strictly marriage. You know.
Okay. It's not like that won't be a virgin marriage.
No.
Okay.
There will be a dowry though.
A dowry.
Yeah.
And which way? Who pays the dowry?
I have 3 goats.
I got it. Zuckerberg pays the marriage.
Okay.
And we get married.
All right. And the bird from Twitter lives with us.
The bird can what?
The bird from Twitter. The little Twitter bird. He can be our pet.
Right. And Tom from MySpace can be our friend on MySpace.
Okay. Yeah, that works, and he's the only person still using MySpace. So what can we expect from Grindr? You guys are launching a new feature, I hear.
So the new Grindr is coming out this summer. It's a whole new experience. You know, we launched 3 years ago, and so that's quite some time. A lot of code has been built, so we're taking all that code and essentially moving it aside, and now we've started from scratch a while back and building a new platform. Both the software you see on the phone and all our servers will be all new. So it's going to be so much speedier. It'll be super exciting. I'm already testing it now, and I'm loving it. And it's going to have filters. A lot of our users are saying, hey, I've got a specific kind of guy I like. Can I filter for him? Absolutely. And we'll also introducing communities. So you'll be able to find specific types of guys you're looking for. And that's coming out this summer, and it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to have it out there.
So I can go on a hunt for as many bears as I want to.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
That's either bears or twinks or otters or jocks, or we've got 12 different communities that you'll be able to search for, and that'd be great.
Leather daddies,
leather as well, absolutely. Daddy's another one.
Wow, I didn't even know there were 12 different subsets of gay men.
Actually, we struggled with it. We actually think there was maybe 20, 30, 40 of them. If you look at it, and we just that seemed too much to us. So we narrowed it down to what we thought. We got some feedback from our user base on what our top ones were. One of them is geeks, and we've got some fun ones.
You got Team Edward, Team Jacob, One Direction fans.
There's tons of different things.
Yeah. Well, I will be sure to look for that on my phone, and I'm sure all our viewers will as well. Joel Simkhai, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's stop the recording.